Interesting facts about famous people.
Lonesome Dove, miniseries, and more. A series of 4 Western fiction novels written by Larry McMurtry, and the 5 television miniseries and television series based upon them. The novels and miniseries follow the exploits of several members of the Texas Ranger Division from the time of the Republic of Texas up until the beginning of the 20th century. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. Head over to my channel if you want to check out my many other videos. The link is in the description. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel as well. I do appreciate it. Let's get into it. Lonesome Dove follows 2 retired Texas Rangers, Woodrow Call and Augustus McCrae, who run the Hat Creek Cattle Company. Woodrow Call realizes retirement does not suit him and grows restless. Gus does not mind retirement too much, but he does miss Clara, the love of his life, who currently lives up north in Nebraska. Then Jake Spoon, another former ranger, tells them about the Milk River up in Montana and how beautiful it is up there. From this info, he convinces them to embark on a mission to drive cattle up to Montana. Here they would set up a ranch and live there. Jake Spoon would not go on this drive with them, but other notable people would. These people include P.I., a former ranger who worked under Call and Gus, Joshua Dietz, a tracker and a former ranger, Newt Dobbs, a boy who works for the Hat Creek Cattle Company, Lorena, a prostitute who resides in the town, and Bolivar, a cook. Along their way they deal with crossing rivers, getting attacked by snakes, fighting off bears, and evading thunderstorms. However, an Indian known as Blue Duck causes many problems for the Hat Creek Cattle Company along the way. Eventually the group does complete their mission, but many of the men who embarked on the mission would die. In the end, the cattle drive was seen as a failure. Larry McMurtry wrote this in 1971 as a movie script. He intended for John Wayne to play Woodrow Call, James Stewart to play Gus McCrae, and Henry Fonda to play Jake Spoon, with Peter Bogdanovich directing. Wayne turned it down, and the project was shelved. 10 years later, McMurtry brought the script back and wrote the book on which this miniseries was based. Streets of Laredo. Woodrow Call is hired by a railroad company and is tasked with taking down Joey Garza, a skilled sniper who has been killing railroad workers. Ned Brookshire, a salaried man who works with the railroad company, accompanies Call on his mission. Call attempts to recruit P.I., but he declines, and he now has a family and is married to Lorena. However, shortly after Call leaves, P.I.'s guilty conscience convinces him to go after Call. As they get closer to Joey Garza, they encounter more foes, such as Mox Mox, a man who used to work under Blue Duck. In the end, Joey Garza is defeated, thus concluding the Lonesome Dove series. James Garner had been offered the roles of both Gus and Call in Lonesome Dove, 1989, but had declined for health reasons. The Streets of Laredo was author Larry McMurtry's original title for the screenplay that later became his novel, Lonesome Dove. Ned Beatty, who played Judge Roy Bean, also appeared with Paul Newman in The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. Newman played Bean. This was actor James Garner's final western before his death in 2014.
Stop, it's enough! It's over. It's all right, P. It's all right.
Dead Man's Walk follows Woodrow Call and Augustus McCrae, Gus, back in their younger days, On their first expedition, the Rangers are stalked by Buffalo Hump, a Comanche chief. After this expedition concludes, Call and Gus join another expedition led by a man named Colonel Cobb. The expedition started with 200 men, but quickly dropped to 40, after many of them are either killed or desert. Shortly after being reduced to 40 men, they are captured by Mexican soldiers. Here they are forced to march through the Dead Man's Walk, treacherous terrain, which results in only 10 men making it through. Here they encounter French troops practicing military maneuvers. This scares 3 of the prisoners, which results in their deaths. The final 7 are then forced to grab a bean from a jar. If they grab a black bean, they will die, but if they grab a white bean, they will survive. Luckily, Call and Gus manage to survive, and the book ends with Gus and Call making it back to town where Clara lives. Johnny Lee Miller plays a role previously played by John Voight in the unofficial sequel, Return to Lonesome Dove, 1993. At the time of this film's broadcast, Miller was married to Voight's daughter, Angelina Jolie. Actor Ray McKinnon goes on to reprise the role of Long Bill Coleman in Comanche Moon, 2008.
If you'd like to speak to your friend, Corporal McRae, I will permit it.
No, I'll talk to him later.
Corporal, then.
Comanche Moon follows Gus and Call in the middle of their Ranger years, also reintroducing Joshua Dietz and P.I. Here they work under Captain Inish Skull, where they attempt to track down Kicking Wolf, a Comanche horse thief. However, a Mexican bandit named Amado captures Kicking Wolf before Inish Skull can. Eventually, Inish Skull finds Kicking Wolf but frees him. Skull gets captured by Anando, where he is put into a cage where he is expected to die. While this is going on, Buffalo Hump leads an assault onto Austin before Inish Skull dies, or goes completely crazy. Call and Gus save him. The group then returns to Austin, where Inish Skull is promoted general. Meanwhile, Anando is bitten by a poisonous spider and dies. After this, Blue Duck kills his father after he finds out that Buffalo Hump left them to go die. Some of the scenes were shot at Val Kilmer's ranch in New Mexico. Kilmer had to undergo over an hour of makeup, facial hair, and wig placement each day for his role. He elected to shave his head into a mohawk to make it easier to glue the wig onto the scalp. Kilmer, who lives on a nearby New Mexico ranch, agreed to participate in this film, secondary to his work with New Mexico's film investment program.
And you don't even realize it.
I suppose you would jest.
Now, the legislature, when it gets its wits together, will vote up the money to pay for the cattle. But somebody's got to convince the South Texas ranchers to yield them up on credit. It may not be an easy task, Captains.
Easy? Why, Richard?
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.